Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Realness Meets Entertainment in Color. Here for episode 12 recap of Love Island USA season 4. I'm your host, Chantel Francis, with my co-host, Tamika Francis. How are you feeling today after our 2-day hiatus, waiting upon Zita's decision?
Whoever suggested this bullshit scenario, it was dumb.
Who's they?
This is what people on Twitter wanted. What she just did this episode, that's exactly what they wanted. And I said it was dumb. And it was dumb. And I'm not calling Zita dumb. Like, I think she was absolutely moving off of full emotion. But this scenario, no. But I also would not have done it. So there's also
Definitely. I think that I do think that it may have been a mistake, but I understood also with her rationalizing it, being like, I didn't want to go and back with Timmy and then for him to still be exploring things with Bria. I think she felt that that would be disrespectful in a way. Guess not recognizing that it would be kind of similar with what she would be doing to Jeff by choosing Jeff and then still maybe entertaining Timmy in some type of way. So I wish that she just had maybe gone with her heart here in this situation, because I'm not sure. Well, definitely the fans, the Facebook fans are hating her right now. And I think that I just don't know if she's going to be as beloved anymore because of this particular move. I mean, no matter what she's going to do, she's probably going to get a lot of hate for it. But this move particularly, people are just like, she's vindictive as F. Like, I knew I didn't like her. She's so petty. And I'm like, wait, she's just like not wanting to look like an idiot by some guy who's like stringing her along. Anyways, but one thing that I do think is strong and positive about this choice that she's made is that it does make this star-crossed lovers storyline. You know, it's like they can't be together, but they want to be together, but they're with somebody else, but they're trying to see if it's going to work. You know, like, it does make a storyline. So that could be why it's happening. But go on. I think you have something to say.
I'm going to say this about the entire episode. The actual action of what she did threw the entire energy of the villa off. It felt like the only strong couple is Isaiah and Sydney.
Yeah.
This doesn't work for me. And what also pisses me off is we've seen this, and I'm tired of seeing it. We've seen this.
Because the black girl came in and took and inserted herself in something that was going decently well?
We've seen
like
this
that?
in a bunch of ratios. She wants the guy, but she doesn't want to pick him because she wants him to pick her. So she's there crying because she still wants to be with him, but she picks somebody else. Charlie, Cinco, and Cash last season. Trina, Cinco, Cash. Like, I'm tired of this scenario. Like, her crying afterwards, I felt so bad for her because I understood she literally was going off of emotion. She should have just picked them.
Yeah, I mean, I think she was really upset with the fact that he was so open to wanting to get to know her, and that she just didn't want to be like with some guy that has more interest in someone else. And I think that that's probably a storyline that's gone on in her whole life. You know what I mean? Like, maybe she's not been picked number one, or she's the side girl or something. It must have been something that she was recognizing, that they don't know for sure that they want to be with her. They want to still, flirt around with their type. And so I think that she was just avoiding herself, feeling second best and feeling jealous and feeling like she's fighting for his attention. So she's just going to nip that in the bud and, see if she can keep it moving.
Yeah. So she did exactly what people asked her to do, and now they hate her, which is what I knew was coming.
Well, they're gonna find any reason to hate her for sure.
Exactly.
Hi, Dana. Thank you for being here. Dana says Zeta should have picked Timmy. Yes, we were saying that we wanted her to pick Timmy for sure. Jessica says, "Hi, I was shocked that Zeta picked Jeff. Now her and Timmy are both going to be playing games to see which one will fold first." I know. Hi,
Mm.
hi V. Thanks for being here. Hi, RC. No, I think she's dumb. She could have controlled her emotions post decision, though. The decision she made isn't the problem. I don't think she's dumb at all.
I don't think
I,
she's dumb. I think the decision was dumb. If you want to say the decision was dumb, I hardly agree with you. I'm not saying Zeta's dumb, and you're saying control emotions. How are we supposed to control our emotions? They're emotions for a reason. Like, if you have real emotions, you can't control them. They are real.
unless, and if you do control them, then like, oh, you're a narcissist or you're a sociopath. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like, if you're
right,
able
right.
to. So, I mean, she's definitely not going to win for sure. Hi, Nicole. Yeah, she should have picked Timmy and put him on it for a bit. Hi, Danita. Hey, ladies, I think Zeta wanted Timmy to ultimately pick her, and during the time before the recoupling, he didn't do enough in her eyes for her to follow her heart.
Yeah, but
Absolutely. I
she
mean,
said she was avoiding him all that day, so I'm not sure what he was supposed to do.
hmm. Nicole does still like the drama. I mean, I think it does create some drama. It seems like next episode that Bria's gonna be crying, so I think it's gonna be that whatever she. Okay, that's another thing too about Bria here is that I think that she liked Timmy a lot more when she was stealing someone's man, you know what I mean? Or like she's interfering. As soon as she kind of like gave up the fight there, it seems like he's not as attractive to her anymore. Like the vibe and the energy that she is giving off in my like from my perspective, it just doesn't seem the same as it was beforehand. I don't know. Do you agree?
She's being petty. She just is petty. Like this entire episode, she's just being petty. And I'm gonna tell you the truth. If he said some of the things that he was saying to her, I kind of would be like, "Oh, dude, you want her. You don't want me."
Well, he definitely like even after the so once Zeta picks Jeff and sits down and he Timmy was shocked and
He was
like
near tears. Did you see the tears in his eyes?
I mean I think it's because he thought that a lot of the things that was said was about him. He fucked it up though. I mean like it's his fault really. She
I
had
don't
no
feel like
interest.
it's his fault. He hasn't had a choice in.
No, beforehand. I mean, I think that opening the door to Bria was the first time where he was just and when he was immediately super upset with her for suggesting that like, oh, do you actually see us working at like outside in the real world? Like that's just a question. Like he didn't need to go all the way like, oh, now I need to go sow my oats and be open to every single person that comes in here because I don't want to feel like I'm being tied down. So that immediate reaction, I think, was the catalyst of her in this moment not picking him because she's seeing some red flags with like him being able to have so much control over her emotions.
They're both wrong.
So Zena should have stuck with her decision and reason for at least 2 hours.
She was fine that night. I mean,
Mm.
she was fine. There's a there's a picture, and she like when Felipe is leaving, and he's staring at Timmy, staring at Zeta. Zeta's looking at Felipe. She was fine. She watched them kiss. She didn't do anything. It was more than 2 hours. It was not more than 24 hours though.
Well, I also really wish that Maddie chose Andy. No, I didn't
Oh my
chose Andy.
God!
Chose
Don't even get me.
like she should have just chosen Bryce. Maybe I don't know. I don't need Andy's energy in the villa anymore. He's boring. Not that Felipe is more interesting necessarily, but like Andy's just so boring. Why? What? Don't get you started on Maddie choosing Andy. Why?
Andy needs to go. Maddie can go with him. I mean, like You want each other, go off the show. Neither one of you are bringing anything to the show, in my opinion.
Okay, so RC's rephrasing the question. So let me rephrase what I said. Her actions post choosing Jeff was the issue, not her choosing Timmy. Look how Timmy behaved when she didn't pick him. Why
How
would
did he
we
behave?
want her to go on with him?
How did he behave? I'm confused. Listen, I keep seeing a lot of people mad at Timmy. Oh, he expected her to pick him. Oh, he's a narcissist. Oh,
No,
he's
I don't think all
mean.
that.
Oh, he's rude. I'm like, I'm confused. He wanted to be picked. He was near tears. He didn't get picked. So he told the girl that picked him, okay, well, I'm still,
I'm canning this relationship and these feelings. Which
yes.
if I was Bria, I'd be like, so what happens if that can gets opened? That's like literally
Or
where the
wait,
open a
so you're
can of
telling
worms.
me you have lots of feelings for her, but you're just like shoving them down
And
to
I'm gonna crack on with
cry with
you
me.
just to like get over it. I mean,
So I'm
I that would have
confused
been
of
a red
what
flag if I
Timmy
was
did
Bria.
here.
Pardon?
I said I'm confused of what Timmy did here, but expressed that basically he wanted Zeta. He wanted her to pick him. He still wants her. He's just gonna try with Bria because he has no choice.
Yeah. So yeah, the energy was off in the villa, and Courtney even says it at one point that like. I don't believe that Zeta and Timmy are over. Like she believes in their story, and she's like the energy in the villa is off, and the energy, and I think Jeff even said the energy in the villa was off as well, and I think it's because the elephant in the room is the fact that they both want to be together, but they're like entertaining other relationships right now, and I think that that's why the vibe is off. Like nobody's being fully transparent in themselves because they'll hear the other person laugh or something, and then they'll get triggered, and it's so. I don't know what's going to happen, but I don't know if it's was the right decision for her at all. So Reela says, I do not care for Timmy and would like Zeta to move the F on. But we can't, like, it's her feelings, right? Like, we see that they have a connection. You can't really tell somebody to move on when they're on a show to find a connection. And she found one in Timmy. And now they're
I
kind of
got
moving through
interrupted.
these motions. Pardon?
I got interrupted.
It got interrupted. Absolutely. And so how she is moving on and her moving on is like, oh man, I still feel something for him.
Real
So, but
feelings.
she just should have followed her heart and picked Timmy because now she's going to be left looking stupid watching him and Bria and disliked by the public. She doesn't know that she's disliked by the public yet. I don't think that he's going to crack on as much as he's kind of saying with Bria because he's not attracted to her. And the way that Bria moves is not really his vibe. Like maybe aesthetically she's his taste and his vibe, but like I don't know if the way she actually moves is his vibe, you know?
Oh no, we saw that at the end of this episode. She screwed that up.
Oh, I can't wait to talk about that. Okay, we're
Mhm,
coming.
mhm.
Timmy is not empathizing with her, even though he was open to other people, and now he's punishing her for wanting to see him be sure about her before she gets back with them. I mean, I can agree with that a little bit. Like but they need to have a conversation. I think that Zeta needs to say, like, listen, like, I really wanted to pick you. Like, you are who I want to be in this villa with, and I do miss you. But I also didn't want to stop you from exploring a relationship with Bria. And so I was just giving you the opportunity to do that because if you want to be with me, I want you to choose me. And I think that like once they have that conversation, he can crack on, do what he wants, and see whether or not they're going to be able to work it out. So RC's saying that they don't hate her for her decision; they hate her for her post-decision behavior. What did she do? Am I just
I'm
blind to
so
Zeta? Like,
confused.
I don't
I'm
know
so
what she's
confused.
done.
I'm so confused. I don't know what Timmy's done, and I don't know what Zeta's done that is causing all of this. He's some terrible person. She's some terrible person. There are two people in a love show where they get tested, and during those tests, their relationship keeps getting interrupted. They have real feelings, real emotion. and they're acting off of those real feelings and emotions. Does getting in your head always like make that easier? No, it makes it harder.
Especially because they're both Geminis, so they don't even really know how to process emotions effectively. Like they're not good at it. So like the way that they express themselves emotionally is by outbursts and comments and snide remarks. And so that may seem petty to somebody, but that's them being emotional. And
Like you
so
see Timmy telling Zay, yeah, so I'm done. She doesn't want me. Blah, blah, blah. And then Zay is like, she still rates you. Y'all are gonna get back together.
yeah, like
And Courtney's
it's
on the other side doing the same thing with Zena. Like, he still wants you. Y'all get back together. Like, I was dying laughing at that part.
so CJ says, "Hi, ladies. Watching two black women go tit for tat for a corny man is disappointing. Why can't they just have a conversation? I'm tired of the fighting because I love them both." I think that they're not having the conversation. I think it's also the producers that are preventing them from having conversations. We've talked about it on other seasons where, for instance, Cash wanted to nip something in the bud, but the producers say, like, no, you can't have that conversation now, or they say, like, so the producers do choose when certain conversations are going to be able to be had so they can obviously film it, but they do create more tension and more drama by kind of holding back people from what they would instinctually want to do.
Right. So
So
she asked him in the afternoon to come and have a conversation with her later. When they get to the nighttime, they immediately get a text to do this game. They split off to their couples. They have to do this game. During the game, emotions started running high. Normally, if it was just a regular night, they would have had the conversation, and
mhm,
then maybe it wouldn't have gotten so volatile. But that's not the opportunity the
that was
producers
presented for them
present.
exactly. Like she has every intention to speak to him and like clear the air and kind of explain why she didn't choose him. Like she's wanted to do that the whole time, but it does, just because she didn't do it doesn't mean that she didn't have intentions of doing it.
Right.
Okay, so let's talk about this episode a little bit. Bria picks Timmy, of course. And she just looks so not excited to pick Timmy. It's weird energy too. I think that that's another thing as well, is that like if Bria was so into him and like had such a connection with him, it would make all this make a little bit more sense. But it's the fact that she just wanted him, I think, because somebody else had him, that she inserted herself, and like now it's the prize is dusty. It's like
This
she doesn't want.
reaction was the second craziest reaction to when Tyler got picked by Clarice after the recoupling, and Kaz had picked Matthew again, and he just sat there and didn't know what to do with himself. Just he does the dude. He doesn't want you. You don't even really want him. You just wanted to one up Zeta, but again, she's the one that made the choice.
Yeah. Okay, so we see Maddie. I expect effort every day. I'm like, then pick somebody else. You want effort every day, don't pick Andy.
When she started
Like,
saying that, I was like, "You're not gonna pick Andy, are you? Like, please."
yep, she does it. And then Courtney decides that she doesn't connect with people very easily, and she's able to talk to this person for hours and hours. When she said that, I'm like, oh, her and Felipe don't talk for hours and hours. So she's choosing Bryce, which she
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
Felipe
They
took it
spoiled it
well.
though in the first lip too.
Oh, I didn't see the first look.
Yeah.
But I thought it was surprising that when Felipe was actually leaving, Courtney was trying not to kiss him on the lips, and Felipe went in and was just like kissing her on the lips, and I was like, Felipe, you're pissed, but like you're going out gracefully.
Yeah.
um, so
I
he
will
goes
miss
home.
Felipe.
Pardon me?
First OG to go. I said I will miss Felipe. First OG boy to go.
Yeah. Um, So before Felipe leaves, he gets everybody to like be chanting and clapping. So it was kind of a good note to be leaving on. Everybody wasn't like bawling like they would have been if like Zeta went that last time. Like so he went and like the only time he's missed is every time I have to see Maddie and Andy. I'm like, oh, I miss you, Felipe. You're so cute. You're so cute. So Andy and Maddie have a chat. I didn't write down anything that they said because I'm not interested in them at all.
Couldn't tell you.
Um, yeah. Courtney and Bryce talks, and she's really happy that he is looking for something real. And he's talking and telling her about his feelings and stuff like that, and what he wants and stuff. And she just goes and she kisses him, and I'm like, oh, this is her problem. She wants somebody that to connect with, but she's actually not willing to connect. And so she kind of just like masks that, in my opinion, with like sexual energy, because I don't think she really knows how to be vulnerable and open. But she wants someone like Bryce who's not going to have his head turned and be all into her. I think that she was still worried about Felipe potentially having his head turned.
Yes, I agree. That was why she chose him. She says in her ITM, "Oh, you know, I can fuck anybody, but I want somebody to like listen to me and talk to me." And I said, "That's definitely Bryce, but are you going to be reciprocating in this relationship?"
I don't think so. I definitely don't think so. So Jeff and Zeta are talking and they're kind of warming themselves up by the fire. And she talks about how he's helped her not to feel like a mug, which is I think that her pride is definitely stepping in there. And she doesn't want to be second place to somebody. And so he says that he's going to make her feel like a queen. Like I think that he does have good intentions for her, at least in this particular moment. But it's hard to have somebody that you still have feelings with inside the villa that is across the villa making out with a girl that came in and interfered with your connection. So with the progression of how Jeff was acting in this episode, I really thought that he should get it. Like he inserted himself also into a relationship. Granted, he's coming in as a bombshell. So like, yeah, like that's he's doing what he's supposed to do. But the fact that already he's like, well, if you like somebody else, like why are you like trailing me along? It's like she's taking a risk with you. Like you should know all this. You saw the footage. You're shaking your head and roll your eyes. What's up?
It's so funny how they always do this. I'm gonna make you forget him. I'm going. then they get pissed off within 24 hours. We saw the same.
Yeah, it's like, what about making me forget him? Like, you should be whining and dining me and like going all out, like to make me forget about him.
Right. I just don't get it. Like, I just don't get it. I don't get it. I don't at all.
So the next moment is that's when we see Timmy telling Bria that he thought that Zeta was going to pick him, but like he's going to take his feelings that he had for her and can them. That should be a red flag to you, Bria. If someone's canning their emotions, that means that they're just like putting a damper on them. It doesn't mean that they don't exist anymore. So I don't know how he feels that he's going to be able to completely crack on fully with canned emotion. Like those are going to erupt eventually, but she was into it. She felt better about everything, and they kiss. And it shows me that he's trying to teach her how to kiss the way he likes it. She's not getting the memo, it seems. She doesn't catch his vibe kissing wise anyways.
No. In a lot of ways.
And so Jeff is in the bedroom and you're talking to Deb, and apparently Jeff's favorite movie is Mean Girls. So Deb said that's a big plus in her eyes. And they're all getting ready for bed. And Courtney, she's like, do you like to cuddle? And he's like, yes. So I think that Courtney really is terrified of opening up to somebody. And Bryce is safe. Like I think she could do probably whatever she wants with Bryce. He will always be there. He'll always be interested in her. He'll always be there to take care of her. And she could do whatever she wants. But he also, the amount of openness that she is emotionally, he will allow her to be that, I think. So
yeah. Can we go back to Deb and Jeff?
Okay, go ahead.
Again, Deb and Jeff would be a vibe. Jeff
they're working.
Jeff,
Maybe.
Jeff, Jeff and Bria would be a vibe. Jeff and Zeta, not a vibe.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, yeah, they definitely did. Maybe that's how things are going to shake out. I need to see the next episode already. Like, damn it, like another 2 days. It's so annoying
It is.
because,
It's absolutely
like,
fine.
regardless of me being irritated by her decision, I want to know
Oh
what's going to go on between the two of them.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
like, for the people that are so mad, like, what else would we be talking about if it wasn't for this storyline?
yeah. I don't know.
Because
I
everyone's
mean,
just like, oh, she can go. I'm done with her. Oh, she can go.
and
Well,
talk about who then. And this is the other thing. I feel like a lot of people are trying to make Serenity, Deb, and Sydney the main characters. They are not main characters, guys. They are supporting. First of
mhm.
all, Sydney and Isaiah's relationship is huge red flags everywhere. Also, Sydney, please lay off the whipped cream. It is breaking your face out.
I'm bringing her face down, and she's gonna end up gaining weight, and she's not gonna be happy about it. I've been
Right.
thinking of that. I'm like, that's a lot of whipped cream every day in two
Every
months.
day.
You are
Yeah.
going to gain 10 pounds.
Ugh.
Like, and she won't be happy with that. And her face does break out. Like, you notice in the morning, she's always has like spot cream
Zit
on.
cream or yeah, and like even when she was squirting the whipped cream in her face, you saw just red. Oh, please stop! Please stop! I'm begging you.
I
And
mean, I
then
don't like whipped cream anyways, but
yeah, I like Serenity. I like Chaz. I do not like Serenity and Chaz together after this episode.
okay, I can't wait to get there. So the next morning, Bryce is really cute and he brings Courtney a coffee and they kiss in the morning and everybody's like, oh, so cute. I loved Zeta. I didn't write down the whole thing, but she does like a pledge allegiance to the villa and that there were going to be bombshells or whatever she said. I thought it was cute bonding moment. And I really do feel like she is the glue of the villa. And like just seeing how much Courtney she rides for her big time. And I really appreciate how much Courtney respects, wants
Mm-hmm,
to see her do well, like appreciates her story, and
mm-hmm,
is giving her advice. I would expect from Courtney to be a
mm-hmm,
little bit more of like a jealous girl, and she's not being that at all, at all, at all. And so I really, really, really like that she's proving me wrong as to what my preconceived ideas were of
mm-hmm.
her, but I definitely love that she's so supportive of Zeta, like so
Um,
supportive.
so we did see in unseen bits what we've kind of just figured out is that Zeta is the mom, big sister of the villa. They all go to her, they all love her, and so yeah, that's her vibe. And I'm glad Courtney's living up to what I my preconceived notion because I did like her from her videos pre villa. So yeah, I'm happy with their friendship. I think
Friendship,
it's
yeah,
solid. Yeah.
for sure. And I hopefully for her, she's able to open up to Bryce. Um, just because it does seem like she has a huge wall up. And so hopefully that this will be really good for her own personal growth because she does
Hmm.
mention a lot that doesn't want someone that just thinks that she's attractive. She says that she can go out and fuck anybody. And so
Right.
that's kind of what like her beauty is an armor for her real emotions. And so hopefully being with Bryce where she can feel a little more secure in that relationship vibe will allow her to kind of grow emotionally. So I'm hoping for the best for Courtney.
Yeah.
So we see Isaiah and Timmy chat and he says something about like I think Z took advantage of that situation. And I was like, Timmy, but look this, look at what's gone down here. Like she always liked you. She never wanted to break up or have you have feelings for other people. You were open to somebody else, and in turn, that person chose you to be coupled up with you. She slept by herself while you were getting to know and making out with some other girl. And you had a moment where you guys, met each other and had the clandestine kiss, which was really, I thought it was a beautiful moment. And but then she realized that no, we're still in this situation in this villa where you have interest in somebody else. And so she feels in that moment that choosing Jeff would be better for herself. Like the fact that he can't see that right now was really frustrating. And like, Tim, you're not being completely fair here. I don't think she was trying to be vindictive towards you. I think that she was trying to protect her heart.
His emotions were running rampant too,
Sure.
and he's been salty since Jeff walked in the door. He literally was clapping when Jeff was making out with Bria, and he was staring them down with Zeta and him. But he's been salty since, so not surprising.
And again, I think I mentioned this already, but Courtney, when Zeta were talking, and you even mentioned that like she is playing like that, you guys still like each other. Your story isn't over, and like I love that she's championing for their story to continue still. And so
Mm-hmm.
it's really good when the villa is on your side about this, because like if there's so what could happen at the end of this episode, so we were supposed to vote for your favorite couple, and so what I could very easily see the bottom two couples being Zeta and Jeff and Timmy and Bria, and then the Islanders has to choose the man and the woman that's going to stay, forcing Zeta and Timmy to have to at least be together without the other distractions. And so I wouldn't be surprised if that's an outcome for this vote that's coming up tonight.
Yeah, I hope the bottom is Andy and
I
Maddie.
know. We do know
I
that.
need
We
them
want that,
gone.
but
I need them gone. I personally voted for both couples. So I have two devices, two phone numbers, voted for both couples on both devices.
which
So
couples you want to keep, Timmy?
I voted
I
for
mean, of
Timmy.
course I want to keep Timmy, but so
Yeah,
keep
I
Timmy and
voted
Bria
for
and
Timmy, Bria, and for Zeta and Jeff. Yep.
no, I mean I support that voting.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's what I
Yeah.
would do if I
Yeah.
could. But I could also see them falling into the bottom couples because people seem to want drama until it has to do with black people. And then
Yeah.
they're like, we don't want this drama. Let's get rid of it. Let's get rid of
Yeah.
all of them.
And so I saw a lot of people, oh, get Bria out of the villa. This, I was like, why? I said, Bria doesn't need to be out of the villa. Bria needs to crack on with Jesse or Jeff. She doesn't need to be out the villa. There's plenty of people for her to couple up with.
And that's usually not the case. It's
Right.
usually not the case that she has options other than the one guy that she's going to go for. So
Exactly. I'm like, I'm rooting for everybody black. Let them all stay. But can they be in the right order? Can they be in the right order?
yes. I mean, I won't be surprised if in the bottom just because we know who votes and who seems to have like 10 devices to vote on. I don't know. But definitely would love to see Andy and sorry, Maddie go. I would be voting for you, Maddie, if you chose Felipe or Bryce, but you didn't. So I can't be voting for you. Like if she had taken Bryce and then forced Courtney to go up with Felipe and continue on, Andy goes, and then maybe Courtney still is interested in, you know what I mean? Like it would have created more drama even, but now we have to watch their boring storyline. So Timmy, though, we hear Timmy say, like, let's see if I even want that when she comes back. I'm like, Timmy, you're gonna want that. There's no way that you could have all this. Like
He was so hurt, yo. I'm sorry. A lot of this was very funny. It wasn't funny, but it was very funny because he was so hurt. And you can see it. I don't know. It was hilarious.
So Zeta does say that all she wants to do is talk to him. Like that's all she wants to do. She wants to talk to him. She wants to sort this out. She wants to figure this out. Like, but they are on a TV show that has different rules and different things that are happening and all these tests. In the real world, I'm sure she would not have allowed any of this to really happen. You know what I mean? But there's also the parameters of the show she's on, right?
I felt so bad for her. That entire that section where she was just like crying and she's like she missed him and she just wanted to tell I was heartbroken for her.
Yeah, well, she says like I can talk to him about anything, and like I did shed a little bit of a tear for that moment because I definitely understand her wanting to, because of the show, like having these temptations and people come in. She's like, I don't want to choose Timmy, and he still has something for Bria. I want him to know what he wants, and I can understand her wanting him to make that decision. Or having the time to get to know her and not necessarily, jumping down his throat so that he
Right.
feels stifled. Because like, what if she does pick him and be like, oh well, like, you know that I want to get to know Brie, and like, now we're a couple together, and like I can't do that now. I feel bad. Like, she damned if you do, damned if she doesn't. Like,
Hmm.
she's never gonna do it right, for sure.
Right.
Definitely not for the public. um, so I thought it was cute though, all the couples on a breakfast date. Was there anything interesting that you want to talk about from each of the dates? I wrote down Taz and Serenity talking about he's the first guy that she's dealt with that's been yoked because he's jacked, and most of the guys she's dated are skinny. So I was like, okay.
The entire
Um,
energy was just off, and every single one of those dates, it was a weird one for me.
yeah, Maddie wants to adopt. I'm like, why are you talking about adopting kids? Like, you don't even like this guy, but whatever. um, Courtney and Bryce, they're talking about when they lost virginity. Okay, I guess that's like morning talk, morning breakfast talk. So Jessica says on Zeta and Jeff's date, I felt like Jeff was just agreeing with whatever Zeta said. He just wanted to tell her what she wanted to hear.
Yes, and that's my problem with Jeff. And anybody who keeps saying that she should have picked Jeff, be with Jeff, they're not seeing things objectively. Jeff is not there for anything real.
He's I think he's pissed because he wants to be in a couple so that he can stay. I think that he thought that if he chose Zeta, he could lock her in and then he could do whatever he wants, kind of thing. Yeah. But he's gonna be fine. Jeff will be fine. I think Jeff will be fine.
Yeah. I mean, I said it last time. I think he would have been fine if she didn't pick him too, because Bria would have picked him, and I think he would have had his choice if that didn't work out. I think Deb could have picked him later on. Jeff is going to be fine. He just is not fine with Zeta.
Yeah. How about this part? This was actually really interesting from the dates. Is that both Bria's dad and brother's name is Timothy? Well, she said Timothy, which is Timmy.
Yeah.
Because she's like, I'm never going to call you Timothy. I'm never going to call you Timothy because my dad and my brother's name is Timothy. And I'm
Yeah.
just like, I don't know one Timothy. Like, how do you know so many Timothys?
I wanted to name my oldest son Timothy.
Oh, really? I don't know any Timothys. Do I know a Tim?
Because I love that name.
I might know a Tim, actually.
I would have actively avoided Timothy just for that reason. Or Timmy.
Jeff V says, I don't feel bad for Jeff. He should have been more prepared and crack on with Bria. Yeah, he should have figured it out, a backup plan a little bit better. Like, it was very clear to me what was going on, and he saw some footage, so he knew what was kind of going down. So the fact that he's so surprised now, and unless this is a way for him to be able to break it off with Zeta without looking like a jerk. You know what I mean?
No,
like,
I mean, it seems to play really well to these audiences. Charlie did the same exact thing, and now he's doing the same. This playbook works every single time.
Oh my God, he's just way better looking than Charlie. He's another Cancer as well.
No, he's a Virgo.
Oh yeah, no, he's a Virgo. Yeah, sorry, the list that you sent me said Cancer, and then when I looked at that girl's page, I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna follow this girl. She's make sure that like I could get these as soon as she does." And then yeah, it did say Virgo. So,
and which also I'm gonna say Virgo man. So
I mean, I love Virgo men until I don't.
Yeah, when he started spiraling, I was like, "Oh yeah, this is that Virgo." Because the thing is, if it's not perfection,
exactly how they want it to be, how they picture it,
spiral. And so it's not a shock to me that within 24 hours this is blowing up, because Zeta was acting exactly the way he wanted her to.
Did you watch any Big Brother Canada 10? Well, there are 7 Virgos on this season. Oh, and one thing that I was learning about Virgo men especially, is that they have the capacity to go, I don't want to say crazy, but like just like go wild and just go off script. And so this one person, Kyle, he's a Virgo, and he created the most chaos that I've ever seen on a reality show with his one head of household reign. And if you noted anything about tarot cards, what I pulled from him was the King of Swords, and I think that that is a propensity to do like just like get all wild and out of sorts when things, as you're saying, isn't in an orderly fashion. So I think that he might even further spiral because it's not the way that he had planned it to be. Like, you know, women, female or Virgos generally like things like folded perfectly and everything in its place and so super on time, like just very, very orderly. Many. And the men usually like things that have to do with the body, being outdoors, exercising, and stuff like that. But now I'm learning that they also like decisions and stuff like that to be in order. So, anyways, I'm just learning more about how these signs translate in these reality game shows because I find it to be very interesting, personally.
7 Virgos. Just
7 in
wow.
one show. I know. There's only 16 players.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow is right. So Timmy and Bria are talking. I talked about the name Timothy, and he's big on quality time. That we know that he's like that. He definitely, you can tell that he likes spending time. I'm noticing with Zeta. I haven't noticed him having that same.
I was gonna say, but notice that he hasn't been spending very much time with Bria.
Yeah, he doesn't like seem to just want to just like cuddle and talk. And I saw a little bit of unseen bits, and like they're just kind of joking around and pretending like this is our kingdom and it's our throne. Like they like playing around, role playing, chatting, just doing stupidness. Like they get along. They do.
Yeah, he was sleeping today instead of hanging out with Bria.
That's true. Tina says it's crazy how much our signs play a part in how we handle certain situations, and I always love when you incorporate it in all your recaps. Such great insights. Thank
that's
you,
why
Danita.
I love you, Danita.
Yes. Because there's a lot of people that come for me and saying like, why are you guys talking about signs? And I'm like, well, it's something that I'm interested in, and I find it very fascinating and interesting. And so do you. So, I mean, like, I find it so interesting when you can see links and when you can see the patterns and you can see how people connect. So thank you so much, Janita, because I really appreciate that there are other people other than us that appreciates this incorporation.
Absolutely.
It definitely changes and colors my opinions about certain things that go down 100%. So we see Zeta talking about kids. And then when she's talking about that, this is the part that got you annoyed?
Yes.
Because he was like, do you miss him? And she says, I don't want to talk about any other guys or anybody else.
Yeah.
Okay, so what was what bothered you about this one?
So I agreed with RC. I think or who was it that said he was just like, oh, it's Jessica, that he was just agreeing with everything that she said. And so just the progression of the conversation, it was like, oh yeah, I want to get married in 3 years. Bullshit. Oh yeah, I want like 3 kids. Okay. And then it was like, are you okay? No, I'm, but I don't want to talk about it. I want to, focus on us. And instead of focusing on them, like he really is still kind of focusing on Timmy. Oh, well, I'm going to make you forget him. You're a queen. You deserve it. But are you just bullshitting her, or do you mean that? Because it's true. It's true. She's a queen. She deserves it. But I feel like you're bullshitting her.
I think that he thought it was going to be kind of like how Bria came in thinking that she was going to easily just be able to get Timmy like this. And I think that Jeff thinks the exact same thing. She's going to be able to get Zeta like this and not realize how much of a connection she actually does have with Timmy, and thinking that he's all that and he can get any girl and he can say all these lines and it's going to work. But it ain't working on Zeta. And I think that he's kind of pressing a panic button here. So CJ says Jeff didn't seem sincere from the start, so not surprised. I don't think that he'll try to fight for her. No, I think that this is his exit strategy. His head will turn as soon as another girl walks in, or someone in the villa. Like, I wouldn't be surprised. Like, oh, like I started chatting with Bria, and like I realized that like we really get along, and like I like her a lot, and like kissed, and it was pretty good. Like, that's definitely what's going to happen as soon as Zeta and Jimmy have a conversation. I bet you 1,000,000% Jeff and Bria will have a conversation.
Absolutely.
1,000,000%. 1,000,000%. Dana says, I think that what everyone's trying to say is Zeta is acting as if she didn't have an option to choose Timmy. I think she felt like she didn't, because she felt like where they are right now, she doesn't feel comfortable and with choosing him as her partner in this, because he still is exploring his feelings with Bria. And so I think she felt that she just wanted to let him have the opportunity to crack on. Realnesss says Jeff was for sure talking a good game. His type is either shapely Southern black girls or white girls with surgery. I could see him having a ball in Casa more. I don't know. I don't know if that's his type. Is that really his type? White girls with surgery, as in like a boob job or like a butt job?
I don't know.
A Brazilian butt lift? I'm not sure. Mm-hmm. Courtney reminds me of Mackenzie from season 2 in terms of how she rides for the girls and her introspection. I could see that. Those big boobs. I just remember those huge boobs on Mackenzie. Did I say this? Hi, Island Girl. So, hey, ladies, I can honestly understand why Jeff is pissed with Zeta. He really wasn't cool with how Zeta blatantly kept embarrassing that man tonight. Not cool. I love me some Zeta, but at least give Jeff a shot. He knew what he's getting himself into. Like,
I can't feel bad for any bombshell. I really cannot. I cannot feel bad for any bombshell. I can't feel bad for any Casa Amor person. You can be upset that you didn't get to be an OG. Be upset, but this is the game. You knew that you weren't going to have a choice in the order that you came in. He came in as a bombshell. He said a bunch of words, and he doesn't mean them, because if he meant them, he would actually do them.
Absolutely. He's not living up to anything that he said so far about like, go make you forget him.
And again, that doesn't mean I don't want him on the show, or that I want.
I want him on the show. I think he's hot.
I want him on the show. I want him with the right person.
I mean, maybe we just need this little break in storyline, just so we're waiting for them to get back together. What was I watching where it's like it happens? I think on Big Brother, maybe it was season 7, when it was like I just wanted Janelle and Will to get together so badly, and they just never did. But it's like we want to have Zeta and Timmy get back together. I do, anyways.
I was reading about that today when I was reading the BB feeds.
Oh, really? About Will and Janelle?
Yeah. So, and also somebody was asking me which couples had gotten together and were still together. And I was telling her about Bailey and Swaggy. And, I mean, BB has a good track record, better track record than Love Island right about now.
Is there anybody from Love Island still together? From any season? US? In US.
I think Kira and Will might be undercover.
Why?
I don't know. From what I heard, people think that they're still together. I don't know. Oh. It's also possible that Shannon and Josh are back together. That's also possible.
I heard that as a rumor as well.
Yeah.
I don't know if that will be true, just because I feel like Shannon right now is living off of like the hype of being on like the Challenge USA, and it seems like Jeff what's his name? Josh wants to kind of settle down a little bit more. And so I don't know if they're on the same path right now, but
I know she's back. She went back to Florida. That's why people are saying that. So,
I mean, they also have been saying like they're still best friends. Oh my God, we love each other. Yeah. And being in Florida is a lot closer to Cash. So
yeah, Cash is in New York.
Well, I mean, it's still in the same time zone, at least, like as opposed to like, where was she before? Was she? Oh, she was in Pennsylvania. Never mind. That's way closer. That's way closer. Never mind. I was thinking that she's super West Coast. Never mind. Never mind. I forgot where she was from. So then we see Sydney talking to Deb. I missed it in their Sydney and Isaiah's breakfast. Did he say I love you, or I'm falling in love with you, or like or love you? Like, what did he say exactly?
He said that's why I love you.
Okay. That's why I love you. That's not I love you, Sydney.
It's not.
That's not I love you.
But you know what? They're both so young. To them, it's a declaration.
CJ thinks that Casa Amor is going to be on fire this season. Can't wait. It's only going to be on fire if couples get back together and like each other.
It's
So
only gonna be on fire. Like they're opening the Hideaway on Tuesday, and there's only one couple they can send there,
who?
and
Devin,
it's only
Jesse? Who is it?
it's got to be Isaiah and Sydney. They were already having sex in the damn room. Um, there's only going to be a good Casa Amor if they're going into it. There's a like because last season that was the issue. You had a bunch of practically single people going into Casa Amor, except for what
Will
one
and Kira.
couple,
Hmm.
two couples then, because Shannon and Josh and Will and Kara. That's not a Casa Amor to me. That
Yeah.
like and so that's my biggest issue with this situation right now because I've already seen this play out. If these two do not get back together before Casamar, I'm gonna be pissed because
They
it
will.
like
Bria crying in the next episode. That those tears were to me what
hmm
those tears said that he had a conversation with Zeta
hmm
and he realized that his heart's with Zeta and he
hmm
doesn't want to pursue something more with Bria or wants to put like a little bit of a brakes on here because he doesn't want to disrespect Zeta because he wants to be with her. Like that's what those tears said to me. Being comforted by her brother. That's what it says. I think it was her brother that was comforting him. Probably.
yes, it was Chaz.
So I love Wing Girl Serenity, like super riding for Zeta. They're talking. She's talking to Jeff in the bedrooms and teaching him how to use the water bottle, and she's just like basically really supporting Zeta and being like, "Hey, like she's not trying to disrespect you. She's not trying to do anything these things to be mean or cruel or rude to you." And then cut to her asking Timmy to go for a conversation, but like I do appreciate Serenity like cooling Jeff down because I don't know why Jeff is so like this is his challenge. Go find Zeta and
What
talk to
happened?
her.
What happened to this morning when you were saying you were gonna make her forget him? I hate like guys, future guys auditioning for Love Island, if you come in as a bombshell or a Casa guy and you say, I'm going to make you forget him, you're not going to think about him, can you fucking do that and not act like you're hurt and somebody did something to you instead? Please do that because I actually would have liked to see that. I would have actually rather liked to see Jeff make her forget Timmy than for this
Absolutely.
to happen.
Oh my god, Timmy would be just fuming if he was like making breakfast and coffee and like treating her like a queen and like just Timmy just being like, "Oh, I wish I could do that for her," kind of thing. You know what I mean? Cuz Timmy did say like, "Oh, I'm going to be doing everything for Bria. I'm going to be like, I don't think he's going
Making
to.
breakfast, yeah. And I
I
was
think
like,
that's all words for sure.
yeah, I was like, so wait a minute, you weren't making breakfast for Zeta? No wonder she don't want to go back to you. Boy, you're making breakfast for the wrong person.
RC says, as you're both into astrology, to use a pattern app. I do have it on my phone.
I
I
do have
don't
it.
generally remember about it because
Yeah,
I
me
know
too.
signs and like I just use a regular like I have like I pay for a professional astrology like map, whatever. And
Okay.
so I've never used the pattern app for people on these shows. So I'll put it in. If you can find their birthday time, like even better. Give me their birth damn time. But I don't know their birthday, birth time, any of that yet. So unless I get all that
It's a lot of work.
information, I
It's a
can't
lot of work.
I mean I might find it for those two though, because like I'm really interested in their story, especially their astrological story. Definitely cool. So Zeta goes to Timmy. He's sleeping. She wants to have a chat with them later. And then it's nighttime and they're going to be playing a game, like you said. So completely interrupted with her intention of having a conversation with them. They're playing perfect mates, looking for Mr. and Mrs. Perfect Mate, where they're just kind of getting to know each of each other and seeing how much you know about each other. And so I didn't look on the Twitter or Reddit or anything like that. What are people saying that she did that was so disgusting in this challenge? The fact that she says, like, I
Oh,
know that he wants two kids.
yeah. That pissed them off. I thought it was hilarious.
I was like, it is hilarious. Like, I knew that. Like this is a divorced couple. Like, come on, like, and like you're with your new significant other who knows that it's not over between the two of them, and they're having a little lovers spat like in a game. I mean, it's to me this is exactly what I see in a gazillion romantic comedies.
Yeah. Y'all
That's
wanted
just
the drama. Y'all wanted the drama to romance saga. You're getting it. That is what we got tonight. She literally was like, "It's two."
yeah.
I knew that.
Now, and how come nobody was really coming for Sydney with like, okay, so first we learned a little bit about like favorite sex position, so like the broken eagle. We learned about body count. We learned about how many children, which was two, which was the worst thing that Zeta could have ever said. Um, and
And
so
they like the same sex position. Him and Zeta.
yes. Well, what did Bria say for hers? Did we find out?
No, I don't think they showed up.
Oh no, because Bria Zeta was saying that to Jeff
Yeah, yeah,
beforehand, so we didn't
yeah,
actually
yeah,
hear her reveal it in the game.
yeah, yeah.
So they asked though, these producers are shit disturbers. Like,
Let's do
if you
that.
weren't near a couple with you who you are right now, like who would you want to
Always,
be in a couple with?
every time.
And he's like, Zeta. And she wrote down Zeta, and she was like, fine with writing down Zeta.
Right. She's like, I knew
And
that one.
yeah, you should. You should. We hear about middle names and favorite dates, and like this is where Timmy was just kind of like, because she like said something about like, oh, she wants to be part of the Mile High Club because like remember sexuality or it's not a
One
personality, and she's like,
personality. Lot. I need to make t-shirts. Remind me to make some t-shirts,
yeah,
man.
let's make some t-shirts. We can sell them on both of these channels. Like, sexuality is not a personality. It's not. And she thinks like leading with that is what's going to get Timmy. And Timmy likes the words and the mind and not the lick necessarily unless it's warranted. Like, so he's what did he say?
He said, I like sex. I'm not, he's like, sex in the airplane. First of all, I don't like heights. He's like, sex in the airplane, I'm pretty sure is illegal, and I'm not trying to get arrested for sex.
So did we find out though what his actual like sex place or whatever the question was?
Oh, I forget. He did say it, but I forgot.
I know I didn't write it down either. But anyways, no matter what though, he just looked like he was like this. So his face, like
It was like it's not the vibe. It is not the vibe. Oh my gosh! And then the other thing too was when he said Zeta's name. Did you see him doing a little?
No, say that again.
When he said Zeta's name, he was like doing a little dance.
Why? Because they got it right.
I don't know if it's because he got it right or because it was Zeta.
He like, I mean, this is just for one episode. They're gonna get back together, and sorry, Jeff, you're a casualty of this relationship, but like you decide to insert yourself into it.
Yeah,
So it's just this deal. So then, what the hell was the sneak attack? What does that mean?
That was some Scorpio pettiness that did not work out the way she thought it was gonna work.
So was the sneak attack like just like slipping it in?
I don't even think it was slipping in. I think she was saying like that they were like fooling around, but she was saying that he keeps saying, "Oh, no, we have to stop. It's not too." I'm like, you're basically attacking him, and what you're saying to us is, you're coming on to him, you are like trying to get with him, and he doesn't know how to let you down.
Yeah. But I still don't know what the sneak attack. Chad, what is the sneak attack? Like, what was she act? Because she was explaining it. Because she's like, everybody was like, explain, and Timmy's like, explain. Like, what is
And
this?
I was like, first of all, he didn't even know what the hell she was talking about, which tells me that she was being petty and she was trying to one up Zeta, and she was, I think she was like making up stuff. Personally.
Well, trying to make it seem like they have some deep
Something
sexual
more
connection.
Yeah.
I was just like, well, what is that?
Yeah,
Like,
and
she
he
wrote
still
that down, though. Why did she even write
yeah,
that
I
down?
don't know. And even after she said it, he's like, that don't even sound right. And so I think he was very confused on what she was saying. I don't think he would knew what she was talking about.
Well, and then everybody's mad at Zeta for saying, like, "I'm not even kissing other people and you're sneak attacking."
Yeah, I don't know why people were mad at her for saying that, but the part that I was dying at was when she's like, "It's up there," and she's like, "Oh, but it's right here, right now," and then she was like, "But it's still up there," and I was like, them going back and forth was kind of hilarious, guys.
Of
But
course, it's like what you want from people that are being kept apart. Like the show's parameters is keeping them apart.
mm,
Like, I don't know why people should be mad at production. Not mad at these
people
people
be
trying to,
absolutely mad at production. I agree.
like, production brought these people in. Production allowed them to choose people that are in a couple. Production is doesn't allow them to say no if they don't want to be in a couple with this person. Production completely, the show allows all this. And so the fact that we're getting mad at these poor people that are putting their hearts on the line here to entertain us, and you're mad at them for making choices like, or having feelings about something or saying something. So if she didn't say anything, be like, oh, like he totally just like look at her letting Bria disrespect her like that. Like she can't win.
She wouldn't have been able.
Zeta, you are doing fine. I support whatever decision you make. You're protecting your heart in the way that you know how on this game show that you're trying to navigate. And I'm hoping that you have all the best here, because the fact that people don't want the best for you, I think is like really unfortunate. So
I'm literally still Team Zeta, so I don't care.
I will never not be Team
Still
Zeta.
riding from still riding for my girl. I'll be riding for her all season. Thank you very much.
There's 0% chance that I will ever not be into what she's bringing to the table. I'm
Absolutely.
on her journey. She is this season for me. If she's not on this show, I don't think that I care
No,
at
yeah,
all.
I don't think I care either.
At all. So SJ Twix wants to know. So Isaiah is Pisces, cities a Sagittarius. What do you think, guys? Is it a good match? Virtual hug.
No.
No. The one good thing about it is that they're both ruled by Pisces or by Jupiter. So
Mm-hmm.
Jupiter is the planet of expansion. And so they will have a similar, like, that's probably what's attracting them to each other, is that
Sexual.
they're,
Yeah.
yes, that's going to help them in that direction. But we already could tell Isaiah is so emotional, right?
And
So
clingy.
emotional.
Pisces are clingy. Not a bad
Yeah.
thing, but
For her
Sagittarius.
though, it's not going to work eventually. Like right now, she loves it. She
Right,
loves
right,
it, but she's going to do something for sure that's going to make him mad, especially with the clinginess. You know what I mean? And so once they're out of this like honeymoon stage, whatever,
yeah,
like
yeah.
maybe on Casamore, she's going to kiss a guy and he's going to find out about it and he's going to blow up. Like
Mm-hmm.
water and fire aren't great together, because Pisces is a water sign. Water puts out fire, which is Sagittarius, and Sagittarius fire makes water boil. So yes, you can have some, tepid waters at times where it's just like lukewarm, which is where they are right now, but
Right,
you could definitely see it being unbalanced very easily. So I wouldn't say it's the best match.
right.
Obviously any sign can work, because they
Yeah,
have all the other different astrological makeups with their other
yeah.
planets
So,
and other
the
asteroids and
chart.
everything else.
Yeah.
But if we're just looking at their sun sign, I wouldn't be like get together 100%, but they could have great sexual chemistry. Stay tuned.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it for the episode. We end on a sneak attack and find out that Deb and Jess know each other the best. They're pretty much the only people that have been together from the beginning, like without having any
Without
disruptions.
interruption, really,
Yeah.
because he got right back with her. I still feel like they're bored together. He's at least bored with her. Their conversations, yeah, of course they know each other the best. All they do is talk. I'm not seeing any sexual chemistry between the two of them personally. I also did not see a lot of people voting for them either, but I'm sure I don't.
Facebook
I'm
will come
sure
in.
on Facebook those people will be voting for them. So.
So Jessica said, did it seem like Serenity was getting annoyed with Chaz in the game? Not sure if it was because he was getting stuff wrong or because his answers were very sexual.
It was because he was getting stuff wrong and he sounded like a kid. I mean, but he is a kid.
He is a kid,
So
5 years younger than him, and they're still in their 20s. That's
yeah.
young.
I like I said, after this episode, I was like, okay, yeah, he's a little immature. I don't know if this is gonna work. And so
No.
she's also a Pisces, I believe.
Yeah.
And she could also work very well with Jeff.
I don't oh, maybe actually. I'm just like I don't know if I see Jeff going to her right now, but like she's never put any energy towards him.
No.
So and they did vibe a little bit in the bedroom.
Oh yeah, in the bathroom. Yeah, that
Wherever they were when
like
they were
their
doing the water
conversation
bottle.
was solid.
Yeah, like they got along,
Yeah,
even though she was supporting Zeta in that conversation. Like they spoke well together. So okay, yeah, I never really thought about that before, but I'll give it. CJ felt sorry for Bria and Jeff at that game, but I was laughing at the same time. Does that mean? No,
no,
that's what the whole purpose of
I
the game
literally was
is.
laughing. I was literally laughing. I did not
Like,
feel bad for them either. So I'm very wrong. If you're wrong, I'm very wrong.
I'm wrong. I'm wrong too. We're both mean, I guess. Like, we're both
Yeah,
mean. We both don't understand people. We both like are riding for someone that's toxic. Apparently, we
yeah,
both want people to get together that shouldn't be together. We both
yeah.
want an interesting TV series. Like, like we're
That
not mean.
the romance comes out at the end for real.
You know, this is how you build these storylines. This is the obstacle. Like if you're writing an actual story, you know, you have to
Yeah,
put in the obstacle that needs to be overcome in order, like you can't have an easy road in a story. And
yeah,
so this is a TV series. There are script writers, there's story
yeah.
writers. Zeta's
Yeah,
one of
the
them
story
because I'm sure she's writing this story for herself, being like, well, I probably want to pick Timmy, but it might be a better storyline decision for the show to get an extra episode out of this storyline and before we
yeah.
get back together. So I wouldn't be
I will
surprised if that
say
also factored in.
my only biggest thing again is last season, Cinco said that he told Trina before they went to Casa Amor they were over. We didn't see that. And
Wait,
then
say that last bit again.
last season, Cinco told Trina before Casa Amor they were over.
Right.
He he then was kept apart from Cash
Mm-hmm.
and was not allowed to speak to Cash
Mm-hmm.
about the fact that he was going to go after her. So then she went to Casa Amor, did what she was supposed to do because she had no assurances from him, not necessarily both either one of their fault,
Mm-hmm.
because they were kept away from each other. Brought
Mm-hmm.
back Charlie,
And he was with
another
somebody else
influence.
when they left.
Yes,
Like
and he was
kinda
with somebody else,
for
but
to her, for what she knew.
she already knew that he did not want her, but she encouraged Cash to bring somebody else because she just knew he was going to stay with her after that. And so
I
my
don't
whole
think that
thing
this
is
is gonna happen this way.
production just they it's one thing to stir the pot, it's another thing to screw up your season. And that's all I'm asking. Do not screw up your season.
I think
Not
they're
again.
okay. I think
Okay.
they're okay. I think Zeta's making this choice. It's frustrating, obviously, because you just want them to get back together. But this is tension between them as well, which
Yeah.
is really good for like if you want things to snap back, you're gonna pull that tension as much as you can. And so that's really what she's doing, I feel, right now, making that decision with Jeff, making the decision with Jeff, and then they're going to come back together. And I do think that they will get back together. I don't know if they'll end up being tested in the same way at Casa More.
They better not be.
This could be their pre-test, or their
Yeah.
Casa More type test.
Yeah.
I think that they'll be back together next recoupling, is what I think.
I hope so.
So Danita took it as she fakes stopping whatever they're doing in bed and turns over. And then when Timmy thinks she's done, sneak attacks with a kiss or something. Well, then when she said that she turns over, I was thinking that she's like rubbing her ass up against him or something like that. And then he's slipping it in. Like, that's what I'm thinking the sneak attack is. Like, I'm confused. You could be off. I could be off. Yeah, I didn't know what it meant.
Again, the way she would, if you're describing a sexual act, regardless of if your brother's in the room or not, isn't it pretty straightforward if it's a sexual act? So
or if it's something that you've done, like that.
Yeah. Why is it so hard to describe? I think she was making a lot of it up.
Yeah, she's like, oh, like, and then like like how she's explaining it to you, I was like, that nothing's really going down here because
Yeah.
you were completely, yeah, girl, everybody should have said, girl, what are you talking about?
Yeah. I mean, I think they did try, but I think that right there turned him all the way off. If he was not turned off before, which I think he was slightly turned off from her before, that turned him all the way off.
So RC went back to watch the scene where Timmy named Zeta in the challenge and why he is dancing, bobbing his head in jubilation. They just need to get back together. Wait, RC, I thought you said you didn't want them to get back together.
But I'm telling you, if you watch this stuff, you're like, yo, they like just need to get back together because he was so happy to have her name on the board. I can't.
Yes. Okay. So RC agrees, though, that Timmy was teaching Bria how to kiss. I thought it was only me who thought that. Well, they don't kiss the same way. And the type of kisses that Bria seems to give are definitely not the type of kisses that Timmy likes at all.
Mm-mm.
At all. Like, she's a show kisser. And I think Timmy likes to feel things when he kisses, not just like look like they're kissing. Okay.
And he said that too, right? When he did the kissing challenge, that he's like, he likes his kisses a certain way, so he will guide the person with the kisses, and that's what everybody said he was doing. Like, they're like, he grabbed it and like he just like he showed you how to move in the So that makes sense. That makes sense.
So, do we think that Bria will be done from the island? No.
Not if they're smart.
I don't think so. Like, I was saying that maybe it could be a potential that it could be Bria and Jeff, but it's just optically that's just terrible. Please don't do that. So I'm hoping that at this point that it's Andy, and if that means we have to lose Maddie, we have to lose Maddie. I'm fine with it.
Correct.
Because she's a bombshell that doesn't bomb at all. There's no bomb and bombshell with her. Okay, so CJ said the sneak attack was a gotcha moment for Zeta. That's all and nothing else. But we don't. What is it?
It wasn't real. It was made
the gotcha moment.
There was no gotcha moment because everybody's like, what are you talking about? And it was Bria's way. We kept calling it. Bria was going to find a way to try to manipulate and control the situation to try to get Timmy to be isolated so that she could only have him. And all it was going to ever do is alienate him from her. And that's exactly what she did at the end of this episode. He's done with her.
Yeah, he's not into it at all. RC says, no, I want them to work out. Okay, good. I just wasn't in support of Zeta choosing Timmy in this recoupling. I'm like, I was shocked, but I understood it. I get it. I understood why she did it. Dina says production needs to stay at arm's length so that we don't end up like last season, starting off really good and then going downhill, hoping for a solid season from start to finish. I agree. They nearly ruined it already, but then it started off 2 episodes that were excellent. This episode was decent.
This episode was okay. Yeah.
So
vibe was off. Just for me, the energy
and that's because they're not together.
Correct. The energy that we've been getting in the other episodes, even when they were just like slightly apart, we're not getting, because now they're all the way apart, and it's not a good watch for me.
Well, and also I wouldn't be surprised if the production is keeping them apart actually. So like not even seeing them like watch each other, or we're not seeing even those moments. You know what I mean? Like, definitely the energy was off this episode, but I think we'll be back on after this. I covered my ears during the sneak attack moment. Was Zeta faded by it?
She was a little upset. She was a little upset because she was like, wait, I'm not even doing kisses and you're doing sneak attacks. But again, I think he's going to explain, like, I don't know what she's talking about because we're not doing anything. I don't think they were doing anything.
Like, if anything, like if they're not doing anything and Bria is making it out to be that he's doing a lot more than they did, that definitely I think will turn off Timmy. Yeah. Because regardless of him being upset that Zeta didn't choose him and him being like, well, I might not be around when she decides to come back, I don't think he wants her not to want to come back.
No, and he's not trying to actively hurt. No matter what anybody says, not Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, whatever, he is not actively trying to hurt Zeta at all. He wants her. He really likes her. He would never actively try to hurt her. Yes, he kissed Bria To me, they kissed up. If you watch Unseen Bits, they all kissed all of them. So
Mhm.
to me, those kisses mean nothing. And I just there's no even passion behind his kisses with Bria, like they were with Zeta. My whole
No.
thing is he's been trying to do what he thinks is correct. I'm not saying that that's correct, but I don't feel like he's a villain. Like they put some little storyboard out and they put him as evil, and I was like,
Oh.
yeah. So they put her as good. So I don't know if you've ever seen it. It was like
The
neutral,
evil good, yeah,
yeah,
like
and
medium evil or whatever it is. But
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, whatever, like medium, whatever. So they had her as something, and I was like, first of all, it's Zeta. She should be at minimum chaotic good, and they had her on the other side. I'm like, she's either chaotic neutral or chaotic good. Like she
Yeah,
ain't
good.
what, yeah, you know what I mean? She ain't on the other side. And then they had Timmy as evil. They had Jesse as what you call it, as neutral.
He is
And
neutral.
neutral, what do you call that thing, neutral, what's in the middle? So it's chaotic,
I
whatever.
don't. Yeah. Oh, I mean, I know I've seen it for something recently, but I haven't seen it for Love Island yet. But anyways, what
Yeah,
neutral? I don't remember what the whole all of
yeah.
them are.
And then Sydney was chaotic good, and then they had Bria as evil too, chaotic evil. And I was like, no, like Bria shouldn't even be on here. Jesse should be chaotic, either the middle evil or chaotic evil. Like, no, no. Serenity was Serenity on it.
She
Serenity
must have been
wasn't on
good.
there. She wasn't on there, and Deb wasn't on there. I think, or was Serenity on it?
I
One
don't
of them wasn't there.
know. I'll
But
find it and post it if I can see
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. It was the weirdest little meme that they created on the Love Island. The Love Island. No, it's
Oh,
Peacock. It was actually Peacock that created it, and I was just like, Peacock,
oh, they
stop
don't know what they're
involving.
talking about.
Right, stop involving yourself in the show. There's ways to promote the show without you involving yourself into something
Like
you
you're,
do not know what you're talking about.
yeah, they're like their poor little like 21-year-old social media person that's like, oh, this is trending.
Here it is.
Um,
Here
you
it
found
is.
it?
Yeah. No, if you can see it. Okay, Zeta is lawful good, Serenity is neutral good, and Sydney is chaotic good.
I agree
Isaiah,
with that, to be honest.
I think Zeta's more chaotic good.
But
um,
I can see that she's lawful good though too.
Isaiah is lawful neutral. Courtney is true neutral.
Isaiah is lawful neutral. He's chaotic evil, I would think.
He's chaotic neutral. I think. Okay. Anyway, Jesse is chaotic neutral. Then Andy is lawful evil, and Timmy is neutral evil, and Bria is chaotic evil. I was like, no, no. First of all, Bria shouldn't even be on here.
No.
In my opinion, she shouldn't even be here.
She's in
And
the storyline though right now. So
yeah, and chaotic. Jesse to me should be neutral evil, and um, what you call it? I'm like, no, this doesn't work. This doesn't work for me. It doesn't work.
So CJ, well, I agree with you here. Zeta and Timmy don't get back together. The season will go downhill 100%. I don't
Yeah.
think that's a possibility. It's definite in my opinion, like 100% that they are getting back together. That's Jesse was chaotic neutral. I could still see it, Danita. Nicole says, I think that often when people say airhead, it's referred to women, but Jesse is an airhead to me. I agree. It doesn't have anything to me.
Jesse's an airhead.
There's
I don't
substance.
know. On Unseen Bits, he didn't feel airheady to me. He actually seemed to have more depth on Unseen Bits to me. But again, I also feel like Deb is an airhead. I used to think Serenity was a little more of an airhead. She's a little
Mhm.
less airheady to me too. Nah,
Agreed. Agreed. Well, that's pretty much it for this episode. Do you have anything that we didn't talk about that you wanted to bring up?
no, I'm done. I Let's move forward, please. Please,
We're
let's.
good. I'm happy with whatever Zeta wants. This is her journey. I
Yeah.
stick by you, Zeta. I'm rooting for you, Zeta. I'm rooting for you and Timmy to get back together. I want
Mhm.
it to happen because I do not want you to end up getting dumped because you do not have someone to go to. I do not think that that
Mhm.
will be the case because Bria fumbled the bag
He
and
did.
she
He
is
did.
not going to be able to keep that man.
Mm-mm.
So she should be looking at her exit strategy right now and find
Yeah.
Jeff, who's like sulking. So
Oh my God.
we will be back hopefully on Tuesday. I'm going to be working Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday this week on
Mhm.
set. So I don't know what time I'll be done. So it's going to be a last minute decision. I wouldn't be surprised though if I'm able to come back on Tuesday and be able to at least review this at around 11 p.m. Like that seems like likely. So we're
Mhm.
going to hope the best for that on Tuesday. So this week will be a little bit different. And then after that, since we'll be done with Love Island UK, next week we'll be going and we'll just take over the next day's 6 p.m. time slot or 6:15 time slot. So bear with me and us for this week. But I believe, Tamika, have you figured out now what you're going to do with your watch parties?
Yeah. So I started a Twitch channel just for watch parties. That is called Color Watch Party. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and so you can follow that on Twitch. I will not be keeping the episodes past like I'm giving you guys until the morning because I know some of my UK fans like to watch the episode. Unfortunately, because I want to see if I could try to keep the channel up. And I think if I don't delete it, they'll come after it. So, um, yeah.
I'm Eastern, Nicole. So both Tamika and I are Eastern. So when I say 11 p.m., it's 11 p.m. Eastern. That's what we're hoping for Tuesday. And since we have this watch party now, I'll put the new link in the description box below. But again, it's twitch.tv/color watch party.
Yep.
And you'll be going live unless you say differently every night at 9 p.m. to air the episode.
Yeah.
So
I probably
9
won't do unseen bits on Saturday though.
Fair.
I'm gonna
That's
take
fine.
that as a
That's fair.
yeah,
That's fair. That's fair. I'm
yeah,
sure if you want to find it the next day, you can find it somewhere online.
yeah.
Unseen bets. Okay, well, thank you everybody for being here and chatting with us. Thank you, RC. Love all the opinions and just happy that you don't have the same opinions of some of those Facebook people that got my blood boiling. I was just reading and I was like, why do you have to be so mean to a girl that's just trying to do what's best for she thinks is best for her heart? Like, leave Zeta alone. Leave her alone. She's still under the age of 30. Like, she's still a baby. Thank you, Danita. Thank you everybody for being here. You guys are awesome. Oh, we are daylight savings time. Oh, Eastern. Okay, I'm like, what? No, I'm like daylight savings is not until like October or
Yeah.
November. So I'm good. Eastern, EST. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So make sure you subscribe to both of our channels, Reality Realness, as well as Entertainment in Color on all social media platforms. Like this video,
Absolutely.
please, please. It's really helpful when you like and leave a comment. Do you think that Zeta and Timmy will get back together next episode this week? When do you think it's going to happen? What do you think is the longevity for their time apart and their relationship in general? So just want your thoughts on Zimmy, because I'm still calling them Zimmy because they're still a ting. Okay. Anyways, hopefully to see you on Tuesday. Have the best day off. And I guess it's a long weekend everywhere, right? It's a long weekend in Canada. Anyways,
Oh no,
happy
not here.
not long weekend. Maybe I'm gonna go try to I didn't find Cinco. I didn't go out. Anyways, bye.
Bye.